luckily
Yeah.
I had Sam, who's just, he's good at everything he does, the best
Yeah.
at everything he does. So that
Yeah.
helps obviously. And like, you can just just give him like open reign to do whatever he wants. Cause he's, doesn't make bad decisions.
Yep. I know it's bananas. Well, so Carrie mentioned it when I talked to her that like you guys were doing so much stuff, last year especially. And from a parent perspective, I told her this. So the communication I got from from camp
Yeah.
in before you decided to cancel for 2020, just
Yeah.
like we're watching it, we're not sure. And then like when you made the call and everything, it was more communication than I got from my kids' daycare. It was
Yeah.
unbelievable.
I love
It was
that.
great. Yeah. And then when you sent out the video, when they made the video,
Yeah.
like, and like, this is camp, like, it was just really great. And then, like the holiday card was like,
Yeah.
oh, that was amazing. And it was just like, it was really cool. And it was like stuff that, you didn't have to do, but it kind of kept up the like, oh, we're like camp family, like just checking in with one another.
Right.
It was awesome. And then like, yeah, last year to hear like Carrie's like, you guys were like going to webinars, talking to like Board of Health and everything. And
Oh
it
yeah.
was like smooth sailing from
Oh yeah.
parents' perspective. So it was
I
like,
love that. Yeah, that's
like,
kind of when I kind of started taking over that stuff, was like when right before that summer. That's why the communication went way up.
mm-hmm,
And like Sam and I are like become real close, great friends. So we're always chatting, always like, I always run things by like, if you think I should send this out or do this, and
yeah.
yeah, sounds like a great idea. Let's do it. And then
So what is that relationship? Because obviously Sam is like the person that like the kids know of, like as like, just the guy who walks around. But like,
right.
what are you guys doing? Like, how does that work both like during camp and like leading up to camp?
I mean, no, we're just like I said, we become great friends and just constantly in communication about everything. Like
Yeah.
if I have an idea, I'll just run it, tell him it, and he's like, "That's great, go with it." Or like,
Yeah.
and so I actually have to do with my wife or my fiance a lot too. She's a fifth grade school teacher, so,
Oh,
so she's like big on the communication with parents and everything, and like
yep.
just always throwing ideas at me and just like telling me I should be doing this, should be doing that, and so
Yeah.
keep that up, and then
Yeah.
and it helps. The parents love it. They're just like so thankful, and like they know
Yeah.
what's going on and they get to see more, and it just works out so much better.
Yeah. It's really nice, honestly. It's like, because it's stuff that like you just you wouldn't know to think of and be like, I don't want to, but it's like, yeah, just keep feeding your parents, like whatever.
Right.
It's been really good. Whose idea was it to do a counselor competition a day this year?
Well, I think this went back for last year. Like I think it was at the end of the year party.
Hmm.
All the counts like Shay and Freddie and Ty were like 50. I mean, we have to come back regardless of what's going on in our lives. We've got to be here. But like Sam, you got to like promise us that something epic's gonna happen every day. Like we're not coming back unless like something's happening every day. Like he's like, all right, and he like,
Yeah.
but he promised that there'll be something epic every single day. So
Well,
he's been rolling with it hard. Today we had a competition. We had FCDC's Dancing with the Stars, like all in one day. And like how we fit this in, I'm not sure. We had a counselor swim. We had like just everything.
oh my God. It's
Just like
awesome.
just a typical Thursday at camp now is
Yep.
competition, Dancing with the Stars. Counselors get the free swim.
Jeez, it's awesome. It's like
Yeah.
amazing. And I think of
So
kids who like their first year or like whatever younger, like, oh, this is what we do at camp every day. And they're
right,
like,
exactly. Yeah, no, we do actually have a lot of first year campers too, and it's just funny. They're like, well, it's not always going to be like this, I don't think,
mhm,
but now it might have to be.
I know. Like,
Setting
where's
the standard high here. Yeah, usually like you've been at head council orientation, Tom. We used to give out like this daily schedule, like the one that we'd use if there wasn't anything going on.
Right.
We just didn't have one of those this year. It's like, yeah, it's just a new schedule that they'll pass out every single day.
Oh,
There's
that's
no
cool.
Yeah, there's no master schedule this year. It's gonna be different every single day.
That's really cool.
Those are cool too, because Sam does such a good, takes like some time and like thought with those schedules, and there's always like cool things on and stuff. So so
Yeah.
cool to get one every day. And there's like he's been like throwing photos of like people way back in the day, like when they're growing up on the schedule. So it's pretty cool.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely, you can tell like it's appreciated. There's just like rent, like today there were just those balloons at the front, the 2022, just like, I don't know, everything feels Everything feels
Yes.
special.
I think that those came from just one of our counselors. Yeah, she had her like graduation party or something, I think. And she just
Oh,
like, I'll just bring these to camp with me. They'll probably use them. They're like, yeah, let's tie them to the fence. Why not? Right?
sure. Yeah.
Who
E-
doesn't love balloons?
Exactly. Exactly. Oh, the kids are so happy.
Yeah.
And what's the deal with the mascot ram? What is that?
I don't know if this was like Sam that started this or like Tom's last couple of years, but Gail had actually, there used to be this store in Medway where they used to sell like all costumes and things from, they were like from movies and stuff. She had like this huge warehouse full of costumes. And
Yeah.
Gail went in there and just bought like 30 of those like full body costumes, and there's all kinds of different other costumes up top of this the barn. But
Oh my
so
god.
it seems like the last few years, just like, yeah, go pick two counselors, go up there, pick something out, wear it, and you're gonna just wave to the kids as they walk in, and the kids are just picking them up. I'm like, there's like some cool like full body costumes that are like, it's like a cool bee, like a cow, like some cool things like that. But they decided to just like grab like a lamb head with like a random jacket. I'm like,
Good.
all right, if that's what you pick, go for it.
All right. Yep. First year CIT making good decisions all the time.
It's funny too this year that he was there the second day too, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yes. So the story behind that one was the kid just like didn't realize he thought you have to do that every day. So he went up and like the second day just came down and Sam's like, all right, here we go. So Sam goes over to the girl that was doing it with him the day before. It's like, well, so actually the kid in the costume name was Sam too. So it's like, hey Olivia, you don't, if you want to go like, leave Sam hanging out there, you want to go put a costume too on, you're welcome to, but you don't have to. She goes, okay. And she just stood there. I'm all set.
Oh, that's great. Oh, is that Sam too?
Yep, Sam too.
So
Yeah.
he opened the car door last year, Aiden's first day, and it's
Okay.
kind of like that's his guy.
That's
He
his
likes
guy
him.
now.
Yeah,
I love
he's
that.
like, I like Sam too. That's great.
That's awesome.
So the counselor competition. So heads, assistants, CITs.
Yeah, we brought it back. Pretty cool
Brought
stuff.
it back.
Huh?
Amazing.
Yeah.
So I know that when you came to the podcast and you were binging them and you were like, excuse me, one time the assistants won.
Oh yeah, I had to throw that out there.
So and then someone else validated that. But yeah, I mean, it was pretty commonplace that like the heads were gonna win everything. That's
Right.
fine. So who was on your team when you guys won? Like
When we won, I want to say it was, I think it was me, Mike Lavelle. I want to say Mike Fernandez was there then.
oh,
And
okay.
then, I don't know if you remember the Reed brothers from Medfield. There was like Garrett and Austin, a couple
I've heard the
good
names.
size,
Yeah.
athletic, like lacrosse players. So we had like four bodies that were, like
Yeah.
6'1", 6'2", like big guys. Like the heads looks like small compared to us. Like nowadays, like you look at the assistant CITs, they look like children. Like
Kids,
we were
yeah.
like grown men,
Yep.
and like I think Tom kind of didn't, because you know how it was back in the day. Like
Yeah.
even if the assistants were good, they weren't winning. Like
No.
somehow the judge is like, oh, heads win.
Yep.
Or
Yeah.
the heads always won. But
There's
like,
a loophole. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Tom that year, like he was like, I'll let this one go, and then
Mhm.
yeah, we ended up beating him in the battle. I think it might be like the only battle win ever.
Yeah. Well, so when I was there, it used to be your brother was the person to be scared of in the battle. It
Yeah.
was like, John's gonna kill you. Like, it was, and then I'm happy to hear that you took that title on when you got
did,
into the
yeah.
battle.
People would be swimming away from me even if I had the ball.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because it's like the one like stretch of time at camp where it's like no rules. We're in the
Right.
pool and like I hope you make it out. But
Yeah, anything goes.
yeah, like if you don't, like you knew this was coming. Like,
Yeah,
thank
think-
you.
I think it might have only been 1 year, but I think I was a CIT and I played for the assistants in the battle
Mhm.
against John. Yeah. I think it was the 1 year I got to be in the battle against him. Yeah, I didn't leave. I had to get out of the pool for like 30 seconds with a bloody nose. Yeah, it gave me a bloody nose in the pool. I hopped right back in, but yeah, it was a little scary in there.
Oh my
You
gosh.
know, usually like hold somebody under for like count of 3 or something. He had me under there for like, like 7 to 10. I was like,
Yeah. Not okay.
that Granny yelling at him.
Yeah, right, exactly. Well, that was the best because you could always, it was like Gail was like, she's so proud of her grandchildren, right? And she's like in there. Like everyone knew who you guys were, you
Yeah.
and John and Shannon and like Danielle and Jamin and those guys. And it just was like, it kind of like, I don't know, it kind of helped to kind of make it feel like the like family that it is, right? Because there's an
Right.
actual family running the place. And then we're all
Yeah.
like, oh, we know, like everyone's related. It's
Right.
good.
Yeah.
I think it's awesome. And I think it's great that that's still there. Like there's so many like families there now, like teachers with kids and stuff.
Oh, it's crazy.
When you get, so like, because I've mentioned this like several times on the pod, but it's like noticeably the staff is older than it had been, like the median age. Like there are like a lot of teachers, there are a lot of like just like frankly people who know what they're doing.
Right.
Is that like have you, can you tell the difference just like in terms of like how things run or like how things are going, or is it just like I don't know, how would you know? Like
I mean, I think you can totally tell the difference. Like when I walk around and like see what's going on in activities, like people's activities are just like so well planned and thought out.
mhm.
I remember like even when I was a head counselor, there was like so many like of us, the young kids, are like we didn't know what we were doing. We were just like trying to find like any way to get by 40 minutes to pass without
Fill
like
time.
without
Yeah.
Tom coming out and being like, "What are you guys doing out here?" Like, I don't know, Tom. We just got back from a hike, I think.
Right.
Like,
What do
you
you
know, now,
think
like-
we're doing?
yeah, now I'm like go out in the woods and like even like Freddie Young, he's only what 20, 21, 22 years old, like has like this plan. They're doing like great things. The kids are loving it.
Yeah.
We like taught a brand new counselor who actually came to camp with his son doing woodlore, and he's got like just crazy ideas and it's so well structured and just like so good with the kids, just like everybody, like everywhere you go, every activity, it's just like I don't know when that kind of like started to like change and turn over, but like but it's just the usage is like you know when you were a counselor, you were just like even
We're like,
tribe time, it's like these are like got like plans for tribe time. They're doing like fun games and things, and I was just like, kids, do a scavenger hunt and get lost and don't come back until that bell rings.
That's right. Yeah. Or like if you do, you know, I'm gonna send you back.
Yeah, you know you're not sitting down if you come back here.
That's right. Or it's like, who wants to go to playground?
Right. Oh yeah, that was I used to be like the king of that. Like
Yep.
Tom would always be like, you can't do that, you can't do that. I'm like, yeah, okay, Tom.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna hide and there'll be a playground.
Yeah, it is remarkable. The thought of like having something planned for the last 45 minutes of the day. Like I can't imagine, but
I know, I can't even think of that. Like
yeah.
even like the skits nowadays, like these skits are like amazing. They're just like, I'll sit there and like, oh, how did you come up with this? This is amazing.
Well,
I had like,
if you listen to Freddie's pod, like he's thinking of it all year.
oh yeah, like he's got a note section on his phone with all
Yeah.
the skit ideas. And like Ty's kids, they don't get to do theater during the year because during theater they do their skits.
That's right. You gotta,
They don't get to. That's skit practicing. We don't have time to do theater.
that's right. It's gonna be excellent. I can appreciate that.
I vividly remember your skits. So when I was like growing up, so funny, just like the same thing every week. And Tom's just like, oh, Sarah.
And I'm like, what?
I was the same way. I was just, my kids like wanted to like make skits, and I'd be like, I'd cook out on Friday. Like, Billy, what are we doing? I'm like, guys, I'm thinking about it. We're gonna figure this out, though. We'll get something.
Yeah.
And usually like something would click like at the last minute. And I'd be like, all right, this is what we're doing, guys. Everybody line up.
Yep, exactly.
But now these people are like practicing. They got all these ideas. It's just like, it's amazing.
Yeah, that used to be, there used to be like one or two people who would practice. They'd like think of an idea Monday and then they'd really practice.
Right.
Wow. But I had Carly and Danielle with me, and they were like, do you want us to do it? And I'm like, no. And they like wanted to do it and like were creative in that way. And I was like, I got this, even though I hated doing it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's